Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in the Epic Handbook from 3rd edition for this video. We're continuing the Epic Feats. This is going to be a longer video than the other Epic Feat videos that I've been filming. I'm going to try to combine 2 videos into one, so this is going to be like 30 feats. So bear with me as we go through these and find out what they all do. The feats we'll be looking at today will be improved dark vision, improved death attack, improved elemental wild shape, improved favored enemy, improved heightened spell, improved key strike, improved low light vision, improved manifestation, improved meta magic, improved mini shot, improved sneak attack, improved spell capacity, improved spell resistance, improved stunning fist, improved whirlwind, incite rage, infinite deflection, inspire excellence, instant reload, intensify spell, keen strike, vorpal strike, lasting inspiration, legendary climber, legendary leaper, legendary rider, legendary tracker, legendary wrestler, lingering damage, and master staff. So let's start with the first one, which is improved dark vision. Okay. Improved dark vision. Your ability to see in the dark is greater than normal. The prerequisite for this feat is dark vision. The benefit, your range of your dark vision doubles. This feat does not stack with dark vision granted by magical items or a non-permanent magical effect. Special, this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. Remember that 2 doublings equals a tripling, and so on. The next one's improved death attack. The prerequisite, you have to have the death attack class feature, and your sneak attack needs to be at plus 5d6 damage or better. Benefit, add +2 to the DC of your death attack. Special, this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. Improved elemental wild shape. You can take the form of a greater variety of elementals than normal. I believe in Pathfinder you get access to something similar to this a lot earlier, so keep that in mind as we go over some of these feats. Prerequisite, Wisdom 25, ability to wild shape into an elemental. Benefit, your ability to wild shape into an elemental is expanded to include all elemental creatures, not just air, earth, fire, and water elementals, of any size that you can take when using wild shape to become an animal. For instance, if you are normally capable of using wild shape to become a huge animal, you can now wild shape into a huge elemental creature. You gain all extraordinary and supernatural abilities of the elemental whose form you take. Normal, without this feat, you may only wild shape into small, medium, or large air, earth, fire, or water elementals. So it also opens up, if you have the planar book, it opens up the para elementals, where you could be the elementals that are 2 elementals, like the magma elemental, which is earth and fire, or the smoke elemental, which is fire and air. Improved favored enemy. Prerequisite, 5 or more favored enemies. So you have to be at least a 20th level ranger or have taken extra favored enemy a few times. Benefit, add +1 to the bonus on bluff, listen, sense motive, spot, and wilderness lore checks. So in Pathfinder, you're looking at bluff, and I think bluff is, I don't remember if bluff is by itself or not. It's been a minute since I looked at the skills. But listen and spot are the same skill, perception, and wilderness lore becomes survival. And damage rolls against all your favorite enemies. So it also adds to the damage rolls. This feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. So it doesn't give you a new favorite enemy, but it increases your bonuses to your favorite enemies. Improved heightened spell. You can cast a spell at any level above its own. As you gain epic levels as a spellcaster, you can take spell slots higher than 9th level. So this would allow you to heighten spells above 9th level. Prerequisite is to have the heightened spell feat and spellcraft 20 ranks. Benefits: a heightened spell as heightened spell, but there is no limit to the level to which you can heighten the spell. Without this feat, you can only heighten the spell to a maximum of 9th level. Improved key strike. You can strike opponents with greater damage reduction. Prerequisites: Wisdom 21 and key strike +3. Benefit: add +1 to the effective enhancement bonus of your unarmed attacks. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects stack. Considering epic damage reductions higher than a +5, it's good that you can stack that a bunch of times. Improved low light vision. The range of your low light vision is greater than normal. Prerequisite: you must have low light vision. Benefit: the range of your low light vision doubles. This feat does not stack with low light vision granted by a magical item or a non-permanent magical effect. Special: this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. Remember that 2 doublings equals a tripling, and so on. Improved manifestation. You can manifest psionic powers more powerful than the normal limits of manifestation. It's similar to casting spells of higher than 9th level. Your prerequisite: ability to manifest powers of the normal maximum level and at least 1 psionic class. Benefit: you can select this feat. Your meta psionic power point cost limit is increased by +2. For example, if you select this feat at 21st level, you can use the meta psionic feat in conjunction with other powers so that you can spend a total of 22 power points on any single power. However, in order to manifest the power, your key ability score must be equal to or higher than the total power point cost -2. This feat can't grant psionic manifestation abilities to a class that doesn't have psionic abilities. You must use this feat as a member of a class with which you can already manifest powers of the normal maximum level. For instance, a 5th level psionic warrior and a 22nd level scion couldn't advance her power point cost limit in the psionic warrior because she can't manifest powers of the normal maximum level for the psionic warrior, but she could advance her power cost limit for her scion powers. Psionics in Pathfinder works differently than psionics in 3rd edition D&D. Psionics in 3rd edition D was a point cost. It was like 2 points of power per level of spell. And you would spend that on the fly and you would cast like a sorcerer. You only know a set number and then you could modify them with feats, and it didn't take longer to cast unlike a sorcerer, but you would burn the points. So that's how that worked there, whereas in Pathfinder, it's more like you're a wizard or sorcerer casting magic. You know what you know, and you get a lot of them, but you can only cast so many in a day. Normal. Without this feat, a power altered by meta-psionic feats cannot cost more power points than the manifester's level -1. You can gain this feat multiple times. Each time this feat is gained, your power point cost limit is increased by an additional +2. The Psionics Handbook has information on creating and playing psionic characters. Improved Mini Shot. You can fire more arrows as a single attack at a nearby target. Prerequisite: Dex of 19, base attack bonus of +21, mini shot, point blank shot, and rapid shot. Benefits: as mini shot, but the number of arrows you can fire is limited only by your base attack bonus. 2 arrows plus 1 arrow for every 5 points of base attack bonus above 6. So if you're at 20th level, you get 5 arrows. Special: regardless of the number of arrows you fire, you can only apply precision-based damage, such as sneak attack damage or the ranger's favorite enemy bonus, once. If you score a critical hit, only one of the arrows deals critical damage, your choice. All others deal normal damage. Normal: with the mini shot feat, you are limited to a maximum of 4 arrows fired when your base attack bonus is at a +16 or higher. Improved metamagic. You can cast spells using metamagic feat more easily than normal. Prerequisite: 4 metamagic feats and a spellcraft of 30 ranks. Benefit: the spell slot modifier of all your metamagic feats is reduced by 1 level to a minimum of +1. For instance, you could cast Quicken Spell as a spell of 3 levels higher rather than 4 levels higher. This feat has no effect on metamagic feats whose spell slot modifier is a +1 or less. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. The effects stack, though you cannot reduce the metamagic feat's spell slot modifier to less than +1. So you'd have to take it 3 times to reduce the Quicken Spell to a +1, which would be the max. And I don't think there's any metamagic feats that boost the spell higher than a +4 spell slots. So that would be the most you would need to take that. That said, there's feats deeper in here that are better if you wanted to use, say, Quicken Spell for all your spells. You would take the feat 3 times, 4 times, something like that. And you could keep taking the feat as you get more and more higher spell slots. The next feat is Improved Sneak Attack. Your sneak attacks are more deadly than normal. The prerequisite: you must have a sneak attack of a +8d6 or higher. Benefit: add +1d6 to your sneak attack damage. Special: this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. Improved Spell Capacity. You can prepare spells that exceed the normal limits of spellcasting. Prerequisite: the ability to cast spells of the normal maximum spell level in at least one spellcasting class. Benefit: when you select this feat, you gain 1 spell slot per day of any level up to 1 level higher than the highest level spell you can already cast in a particular class. For example, if you select this feat at 21st level Wizard, you would gain 1 Wizard spell slot of any spell level up to 10th. You must still have the requisite ability score of 10 plus the spell level in order to cast any spell stored in this slot. If you have a high enough ability modifier to gain 1 or more bonus spells for this spell level, you also gain the bonus spells for this spell level. You must use the spell slot as a member of the class in which you already cast spells of the normal maximum spell level. For instance, a 5th level ranger and a 22nd level sorcerer couldn't add ranger spell slot because he can't cast spells of the normal maximum spell level for the ranger. He must add the spell slot to his sorcerer spells. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. And then it has a table here that breaks down the spellcasting modifier, ability modifier that gives you bonus spells for your other spell levels. And you need a 30 in your spellcasting stat to get a bonus spells in your 10th level spell slot. And it starts at a +2 bonus spells. And the maximum bonus spells you can gain is 5 according to the table. But the table could be designed to keep expanding, because it looks like the +4 spells went 4 times and the 5 just goes 4 times before it cuts off. So the 5 probably turns into a 6 after a 60. You would have to have a 62 or higher ability score. So the likelihood of that happening quickly in an epic campaign isn't there, but it'd be entertaining if it ever reaches there. Improved Spell Resistance. Your innate resistance to magical effects increases. Prerequisite: must have spell resistance from a feat, class feature, or other permanent effect. Benefit: your spell resistance increases by +2. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects stack. Improved Stunning Fist. Prerequisite: a Dex of 19, a Wisdom of 19, improved Unarmed Strike, and Stunning Fist. Benefit: add +2 to the DC of your stunning attack. Special: this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. Improved Whirlwind Attack. You become a blurry whirlwind of attacks, striking out at all enemies near your position. The prerequisite is an intelligence of 13, dex of 23, dodge, expertise, mobility, spring attack, and whirlwind attack. Benefit: as a full round action, you may make one melee attack at your full base attack bonus against each opponent that you threaten. So where whirlwind was only designed to go, say, in a circle around you, the improved whirlwind is designed to go in a sphere around you. So if you get surrounded even more, or you're using more of a reach weapon, everyone you would threaten with that could be attacked. Incite rage. Charisma of 25 and greater rage class feature are the prerequisites. Benefit: when you enter a rage, you can incite a barbarian rage in any or all allies within 60 feet. An ally who doesn't wish to become enraged is unaffected. The ally gains a +4 to strength, +4 to constitution, and a +2 morale bonus on will saves, but takes a -2 penalty to AC for as long as they remain raging. The rage of the affected allies lasts a number of rounds equal to 3 plus their constitution modifier, regardless of whether they remain within 60 feet of you. This is otherwise identical with the normal barbarian rage, including the fatigue at its end. Special: this is a mind-affecting effect. This one's a cool one because also your allies can just say they don't want to. But rage works differently in Pathfinder because it's based on rounds instead of based on so many times per day for a set of rounds. So that's something that would have to be slightly tweaked if you wanted to use this in a Pathfinder game. Infinite deflection. You can deflect an infinite number of projectiles. The prerequisite is a dex of 25. Combat reflexes, deflect arrows, improved unarmed strike. Benefit: you may perform any number of deflections each round. See the deflect arrow feat in the player's handbook. So the way the deflect arrows works is you can only make so many deflections based, I think, on your dex modifier. And this one would say you can do it for every attack that was shot at you. Inspire excellence. You can improve the abilities of your comrades through your performance. The prerequisite is a perform of 30 ranks and bardic music class feature. This would be one of the things that I would change for the feat prerequisites for a Pathfinder game. I would lower the perform ranks by 3 points because in 3rd edition D&D, the maximum ranks you could have in a skill was your level +3. In Pathfinder, you get a +3 miscellaneous modifier to your skills that you started with that had maximum ranks in it, which was 1. So that's where it needs to be tweaked a little bit if you wanted to use this for Pathfinder. Benefit: you can use song or poetics to grant a bonus to one ability score to your allies. To be affected, an ally must hear the bard singing for 1 full round. The effect lasts as long as the bard sings and for 5 rounds after the bard stops singing, or 5 rounds after the ally can no longer hear the bard. While singing, the bard can fight but cannot cast spells. Activate magic items by spell completion, such as scrolls, or activate magic items by command words, such as wands. So while the bard's singing, he can't activate magical items. Each ally to be inspired gains a +4 competence bonus to the same ability score, which you must choose before you begin inspiring. For instance, you could grant all allies a bonus to strength or all allies a bonus to constitution, but you couldn't grant some allies a bonus to strength and some a bonus to constitution with the same performance. Inspire excellence is a supernatural mind-affecting ability. Special: this feat is treated as a bardic music inspiration ability for purposes of feats that affect such abilities. Instant reload. This would apply to crossbows. Choose one type of crossbow, such as a heavy crossbow. You can fire that type of crossbow as fast as a bow. Prerequisite: you must have the quick draw feat, rapid reload feat, weapon focus in the crossbow of the type you're going to select this feat for. Benefit: you may fire the selected type of crossbow at your full normal attack rate. Effectively, you can reload your crossbow as fast as an archer can reload a bow. Reloading your crossbow does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies to a different crossbow. Another way to kind of get around that, if you wanted to do it in a lower level campaign and you wanted to get all the feats while using a crossbow, like all the attacks while using a crossbow, you could take the exotic weapon proficiency repeating crossbow, or you could learn that if the game master is willing to let you. You spend time using one and say, use it for 4 combats and you have a -4 penalty because you have no proficiency in it. Okay, use it for 4 more, now you're at a -3 penalty, use it for those. And then you use it for 4 more, now you're at a -2 penalty. Then you're at a -1 penalty using it, and then eventually you can use it at your full attack with no penalties. But that would require you to use it with penalties for a while, learning how to use it better. Okay. Intensify spell. You can cast spells with exceptionally great effect. Prerequisites is empower spell, maximize spell, spellcraft of 30 ranks. So there again, I would drop that to 27 if I was using that for Pathfinder. Ability to cast 9th level arcane or divine spells. Benefit: all variable numeric effects of an intensified spell are maximized, then doubled. An intensified spell deals twice maximum damage, cures twice the maximum number of hit points, affects twice the maximum number of targets, and so forth, as appropriate. For example, an intensified horrid wilting spell would deal 16 points of damage per caster level, up to a maximum of 400 points of damage at 25th level. Saving throws and opposed rolls, such as the ones you make when you cast Dispel Magic, are not affected. An intensified spell uses up a spell slot 7 levels higher than the spell's actual level. So that feat we were talking about earlier that reduces the spell levels, if you took 3 of those to reduce your quicken spells, you now have 4 levels higher for this. So you could keep taking that to reduce this to only a +1 level. You can't combine the effects of this feat with any other feat that affects the variable numeric effects of a spell, such as empower spell or maximize spell. But if you do double the maximum damage, you don't need to. But then again, I could see wanting to, so they put that in there to prevent you from doing it. Keen strike. Your unarmed strikes become as sharp as blades. Prerequisite: you must have a strength of 23 and a wisdom of 23, improved critical unarmed strike, and key strike +3. Wherever it says key strike +3, I believe it is considered magic in Pathfinder and not just a specific bonus, but I could be wrong. If that's the case, you would just need to tweak this to be like epic, and then you could go from there. Benefit: your unarmed strike is considered to be a slashing keen weapon, and thus threatens a critical hit on a 19 through 20. At your option, any unarmed strike can do bludgeoning damage instead, but it loses the keen quality. This ability doesn't stack with similar abilities. For instance, if some other effect already granted your unarmed strikes the keen special ability. Let's see. Vorpal strike is next, so I actually have to flip through here. Vorpal strike. Your unarmed strike can behead your opponents. So think of a monk doing that. That's pretty cool. Prerequisites is a strength of 25, a wisdom of 25, improved critical unarmed strike, improved unarmed strike, keen strike, stunning fist, and key strike +3. Benefit: your unarmed strike is considered to be a slashing vorpal weapon at your option. Any unarmed strike can do bludgeoning damage instead, but it loses the vorpal quality, as well as the keen quality. This ability doesn't stack with similar abilities. For instance, if another effect already granted your unarmed strikes the vorpal quality. Okay. Excuse me. So, lasting inspiration is next. Your songs continue to inspire allies long after your words have faded. Prerequisites is a perform of 25 ranks. If I was doing this Pathfinder, it would be 22. Bardic music class feature is the other prerequisite. Benefit: the effects of your bardic music inspiration ability last for 10 times as long as normal after you stop singing. This effect has no effect on inspiration abilities that have no duration after you stop singing, such as Inspire Competence. Legendary Climber. You can climb rapidly much more easily than a normal person. Prerequisites is a dex of 21, a balance of 12 ranks, which I believe is acrobatics in Pathfinder, and then a climb of 24 ranks. So I would reduce the climb to 21 ranks for this. Benefit: you can ignore any check penalties applied for accelerated climbing or rapid climbing. Normal: without this feat, you take a -5 penalty on climb checks when attempting to cover your full speed and climbing distance in a round, or a -20 penalty when you attempt to cover twice your speed in climbing distance in a round. Okay, I skip Legendary Commander because it was talked about earlier in one of my previous videos. So we are on Legendary Leaper. Legendary Leaper, you can jump much farther than normal for your size. Prerequisites: a jump of 24 ranks. So the prerequisite would be 21 ranks if you were in Pathfinder. Benefit: the distance of your jumps is not restricted by your height. Legendary Rider. You can ride any mount without penalty, even bareback, and you can control any mount in combat. Prerequisite: a ride of 24 ranks. So there again, in Pathfinder, reduce that to 21 ranks. Benefit: you suffer no reduction in rank when riding an unfamiliar mount. You don't take a penalty on ride checks when riding a mount without a saddle. You never need to make a ride check to control a mount in combat, and even controlling a mount not trained for combat doesn't require an action. Normal: without this feat, your rank is reduced by 2 or 5 when riding a different mount from what you are familiar with. You take a -5 penalty on ride checks without a saddle, and you must make a ride check to control a mount in combat, and controlling a light horse, pony, or heavy horse in combat requires a move equivalent action. Okay, Legendary Tracker. You can track prey across or through the water or even through the air. The prerequisites: a wisdom of 25, the track feat, knowledge nature 30 ranks, and wilderness lore 30 ranks. So in Pathfinder, reduce those by 3, so 27s would be your prerequisites. Benefit: you can track creatures across water, underwater, or through the air by the minute disturbances they make and traces of their passage. This adds the surfaces of water, underwater, and air to the list of surfaces found under the track feat in the player's handbook. The table goes as follows. To track the surface of water, the DC is 60. To track underwater, the DC is 80. To track through the air, the DC is 120. And remember, this is an epic campaign book, so if you could get high enough to have to make those checks, that would be awesome. Let's see, legendary wrestler. I gotta go all the way to master staff. Okay. Legendary wrestler, you are exceptionally proficient at grappling. Prerequisites, a strength of 21 and a dex of 21. Improved unarmed strike and escape artist, 15 ranks. Benefit, you gain a plus 10 bonus on all grapple checks. Special, a monk can qualify for this feat without having the improved unarmed strike feat. It's weird that they say it that way, but okay. Lingering damage. Your sneak attacks continue to deal damage even after you strike. Prerequisite, sneak attack plus 8d6. Crippling strike class feature. Benefit, anytime you deal damage with a sneak attack, that target takes damage equal to your sneak attack bonus damage on your next turn as well. Let's see, I can skip magical beast wild shape. I'm down to master staff. The feat that'll begin the next video will be master wand, and it functions like master staff except applies to wands. So if you wanted access to that before I actually read it next video, there you go. Master staff, you can activate a staff without using a charge. The prerequisites, you must have craft staff and spellcraft of 15 ranks. That I would not change the rank requirement. Benefit, you can activate a staff. You can substitute a spell slot instead of using a charge. The spell slot must be one you have not used for the day, though you may lose a prepared spell to emulate a one charge. You may not lose a prepared spell from your school of specialty, if any. The spell slot lost must be equal to or higher in level than the specific spell stored in the staff, including any level increasing metamagic enhancements. You cannot emulate a charge for a staff function that does not match a specific spell. For example, you might want to save the charges on your staff of power because you do not want to go to the trouble of crafting another when the charges run out, and also because it allows you more options. You can memorize more utilitarian spells, trusting to the offensive power of your staff if conflicts arise. You can use this feat to lose a third level prepared slot in order to activate lightning bolt from the staff. But you can't use this feat to emulate a charge used for doubling the staff's melee damage, because that power does not match a specified spell. Now, another thing to note is that staffs in 3rd edition D&D had charges. And it wasn't charges per day, it was charges. So when a staff was made, it had 50 charges, and that was it. Certain abilities cost multiple charges. Say higher level spells, usually because of the amount of spells they put in it, some spells would cost 2 charges to cast, or 2 charges to activate an ability. So this would prevent you from burning up your resource. And that's also something I like to still use in my Pathfinder games. Instead of it having daily uses or stuff, I'll give it a limited lifespan with so many charges. That said, you still get a lot of use out of it. So that will conclude this video on epic feats for today. Next time we'll start on Master Wand and work our way through the last spells. It might be a couple of videos to do, or not spells, feats. Might be a couple of videos to do that. So until we all game again, guys.